Yep, I see we're streaming on Creative Hive, streaming on Gamification with Amy and Mei. Let me just refresh on YouTube to see if that is true. Just your Stardew Valley, right? Oh, and I guess the chat. Oh, I see. Yay! I see we're streaming on Creative Hive, streaming on Gamification with Amy and Mei. Let me just refresh on YouTube to see if that is true. I don't know why on my YouTube. I do not, but I see 2 on my Creative Hive. I do see a live on Gamification with Amy and Mei. I do see that. It's there. Yeah. Yeah, cool. But yeah, there are... Correct, me too. Oh, whatever. Huh?
How about now? How do I sound? Yeah, I had muted myself in OBS because we thought we might have heard an echo, but obviously people need to hear me talk. So now it should be good to go. Crystal, what do you hear? Do you hear my voice?
Hey, Roger.
Hello, everyone. Oh, I gotta wait. Shoot, I lost my chat.
Crystal can hear you now.
Great, thank you. I'm so glad you can hear me now. Amazing. All right. Well, cool. This is very exciting. Welcome, I guess, everybody.
How do I join your game?
What's that?
Oh, there you are. You're there. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, are you in? Now. Oh, you're connecting now.
Yes.
Amazing. I gotta get my gaming hair on. Ponytail or bun. My chat seems very slow, but that's probably on my end. There is a delay, I think, and I don't know if there's a delay in the chat or the feed or both, but hopefully everything will be all right. If anything weird comes up, let us know. We are learning on the fly. Okay, well, thanks everybody for coming to our brand new endeavor. This is a new... We've been talking about doing this for a really long time.
Yeah, we keep putting it off for no reason. Just life, right? I don't feel like we've prioritized doing silly things like this because a lot of the times we're just chasing money. Yeah, I've really scaled back on that, on the chasing money, and been on. Well, yeah. Why don't we fill everybody in on kind of where we are right now? Maybe that would be helpful. Yeah, I want to hear about your sabbatical.
Yeah.
So Amy's on a sabbatical from her business. How's that going?
It's good. When did I start this? Beginning of June. I set a hard date to just go on sabbatical, and I did not work other than on Thursdays. On Thursdays, I check in with my team. I have just 2 people who work with me, and I really am so glad. They are the best, and I love having a really small team because it's just simpler, like so much simpler. So anyway, I work just one, and it's really just for an hour or 2 in the morning. And otherwise I've just been off. I was super burnt out dealing with I'm not even sure what. I was trying to like figure out what was going on
It's
with
a
my
lot of stuff.
Yes, it is Stardew Valley, by the way. Amazing game. Just dealing with a lot of nothing like major or really severe, but just general life burnout maybe, and needed to take a step back. So I did that, which was scary. Sure, super scary. By the way, my game goal right now is just to clear this hot mess of a farm. Is my keyboard clicky and annoying?
I can't hear it.
Okay, good. Because I have a mechanical keyboard, which I love. My husband hates kind of a little because it clicks a lot. Anyway, so yeah, sabbatical, and it's going really well actually. This summer I usually kind of scale back a lot anyway, and I don't work a whole lot because my kids are off in the summer, and I like spending time with them, and they're high maintenance. Let's be real, they're 7 and 9, so trying to get work done in the summer is hilarious anyway. So yeah, it's been good, but I have been feeling the call the call to come back a little bit, I think. So I think I might start part-time in September.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So
and your kids go back to school when?
September 1st. 3 weeks.
Wow.
Cannot wait. I mean, love them, obviously. Love having them home. Love doing things with them. But I mean, there comes a point where we're all just, we need a routine, and they need to be away from each other. They get along well for the most part, and they love each other, but it's like when you're just around anyone for too long, they just start getting annoyed with each other. And so the return to school will be great for everyone, especially, all of us really. So that'll be nice. But yeah, it's been a really interesting time off. I don't know about you, but when I have a hard time seeing the full picture when I'm working in my business day to day. Like day after day, I'm in it. I'm, task focused, all of that. I find it really hard to kind of like zoom out and just see the full picture. And that perspective is really necessary. So with that perspective, I've been able to kind of figure out what I want to do moving forward, what I don't really want to do moving forward, or how I want to structure things. So that's kind of how the sabbatical's going. Yeah. So I'm on, that's kind of, I guess, where I'm at right now. What about you?
My sabbatical?
your non-existent sabbatical? What have you been up to?
So let's see. So the last time we chatted, we didn't really chat last week, right, Amy? Because we were trying to figure out the back end of how to set up the streaming.
Oh yeah, I guess context for everyone as well is we meet once a week on Thursdays and just talk about business. But last week we were setting this up, and we've been doing that for I think 3 years now.
Oh, wow! I'm always shocked at how many years.
Not sure. Anyway,
I don't even know. It started with when I posted about being on CSI Vegas on my Instagram.
Yes.
And how do you remember like the dude from the guild, one of the actors, and you talked about how you watched the show, and I was like, so did I, and like we love video games, and
I know.
And then we slid in each other's DMs and just started chatting.
What year was that you were on CSI Vegas?
I don't ask me questions about numbers, like streets and years and time, anything to do with timelines and dates. Like my business manager Rose, she's always asking like, May, when would you like to get this project done? And I'm like, Rose, like I'm the worst. Something about my personality type, I just do not do well with dates.
Not dates. For me, everything after the pandemic is just one big lump of time.
Exactly. That's that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, it's nighttime.
Anyway, it was one of those days. Also, did you know that they're doing a guild movie?
I saw that.
I definitely backed it on Kickstarter.
Aw.
I know, I'm so excited.
That's wild that needs a Kickstarter. I mean, is the fan base not large enough that... I guess that's why you would do a Kickstarter, right? Because you have a fan base.
It's super interesting. So she got anything before 2020 is a blur. Accurate. Very accurate. So Felicia Day, who created the guild, said that she was approached like last year or something like that about... I'm going to go to sleep in my bed, by the way. Otherwise, we're going to pass out.
Okay, I'll come.
So she was
Gotta open my
approached about the
door.
guild, but they wanted to reboot it with younger actors. And she,
No.
I know, gross. And she had been, like, ever since she was on Supernatural, she was saying she's had a really hard time, like, getting roles, any of the roles that were interesting to
Oh,
her.
really?
She wasn't cast in, like, she's aging. She has a kid
Oh.
now. She just was feeling like
Mhm.
kind of cast aside a little bit. And so when they kind of proposed that they recast her in her own show, she
Oh.
was like, no,
Hell
no.
no.
So they're
Yeah.
doing it completely on their own, and that's why they were raising all of the money, um, so they'd have full
I
creative
see.
control over it, which I love.
Amy,
Yeah.
help.
What's happening?
How do I open the door?
Oh no!
I can't
Right
get in my
click, I think.
house.
Try right click.
Right click.
If you're
I
like
don't.
facing
I'm
right up
using.
against it, can you right click on it?
I don't even have a mouse. I have a trackpad. Oh wait. I'm like.
You're axing down your door.
I'm axing down.
Whatever the other button is.
Somebody let me in. It's my own house. It's okay for me to do this.
Oh, you have a trackpad. Oh, well, whatever. What's right click on your trackpad?
Well, so I am right clicking. But
Okay, it's
nothing
definitely
seems
right
to-
click. Now I'm in your house.
You just walked into my house.
Whatever your right click
figure
is,
it
or
out,
you'll
but
just
I might
pass
just
out and
pass
you'll wake up
out.
there anyway.
It is not working. You go to sleep. Don't worry about me.
All right.
Oh, I went in.
You're in there.
Okay, I think I had to face it in like a very specific way. The door.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Nighty night.
Good night.
Okay, so yeah, so that now wrapping that little side quest up. What's going on with you in your business right now?
Yeah. So, oh shoot, it's raining. I think the biggest few things. So I kind of told you on WhatsApp, but no one else really knows about it. That my shipping assistant at Tiny Hands, she gave her notice, her 30-day notice. So she is stopping work for me at the end of August.
Ooh.
And she's worked for me for 4 years now.
Oh, boo.
And I feel like this is a good time for me to figure out some changes in the business.
Okay.
Which is, something I've always wanted to do. I think with having a lot of introspection in the last few months about where Tiny Hands has been going, it was generally I have pretty steady years in the last few years, especially like COVID and the years after that. But last year was really bad for us. I think we only made $2,000 for the entire year, $2,000 in profits. It was really, really bad. And I've been keeping my audience in the loop of like how I'm rehabilitating the business and trying all these things, and a lot of things have not worked.
It's discouraging.
But I feel like the biggest takeaway I have now, though, my mission or like my light bulb moment was, I feel like realizing that this is a business that I started in 2006, and at its peak, that was 2014. We are now more than 10 years past that time, and so much has changed, and the business has not really changed with the times.
Oh, interesting.
So I feel like I have to like modernize the business and get it up to spec. I made some decisions the last couple years to like remove some things. Like I used to include gift box packaging in every single order, and it was not an upsell. It was just a part of what you bought. If you bought 10 necklaces in one order, you get each one of them in its own individual gift box. And that was a lot of work for our shipping assistant.
Yeah.
And it just like the economics didn't make sense. So I removed it from the main offer. You could still buy a gift box, but you had to pay extra for it. But I think that was maybe like, immediately you don't see a lot of changes.
Right.
But I feel like over the long term, that's maybe one of the bigger changes that like affected perceived value, which I talk a lot about in Creative Hive.
Right.
So I have talked about how for a long time, people were complaining my prices were too high, and then I upgraded the branding, and then they stopped complaining. And then now I feel like they're complaining again. which I suspect due to the packaging thing I just shared. So
Okay.
I would like to see about like upgrading my packaging again, getting like some really really cute boxes, and I see this as an opportunity as well to partner with a 3PL, so a fulfillment company.
Okay.
I sent out emails to some companies. One just got back to me and I filled in their form. They seem great. And I think part of this move, though, would mean going unscented, which I'm also very excited for. But like, it's so hard. Like, I have been surveying my customers to ask, hey, is this something do you care about the scent? Do you not? And
Right.
the results are always very half-half or like 60-40. It's like not enough for me to rely on the data. But anyway, long story short, lots of changes are happening.
Yeah.
And I think it will be good, but it will be kind of annoying at first because it's work.
Yeah.
And, to like, I think everyone knows it's not a secret. Tiny Hands it's not my bread and butter.
For sure.
I make most of my money from Creative Hive and from our other e-commerce shop. So
think,
it is a little annoying to.
Do you think?
So go ahead.
Do you think sales have slowed due to like the economy, people like consumer behavior? Do you think there's a kind of are people more discerning? Are people more like expecting more value for their dollars?
I think I think people are still buying a lot. They're still shopping a lot. I think maybe there's just so much more competition that I think the bar is being raised so much every day, or like at least every year.
Right.
So what used to be the standard 2 years ago is no longer the standard, and you have to keep up with that, right? And I haven't been upping the game on my end, or at least I have been, but I'm always lagging behind because Tiny Hands is not my primary business.
Somebody asked, have you considered selling Tiny Hands and just concentrating on your maps business?
I have, and I feel like I want to. It's interesting because I used to feel like Tiny Hands was a part of my identity, and I would never sell it. It's my baby, but it's also, I think, practically speaking, what gives my coaching at Creative Hive credibility.
Right. It's like your playground for strategy.
It is my playground. Yeah. There's a rock there. But there is also a point that I think earlier this year where I decided to let go of like, you know what? I think I accepted that I'm really good at making money online, period. And if I were to sell my business, does not mean I failed necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm still starting new businesses and I make a lot of money on doing other stuff. And Tiny Hands had a lot of good days. So if I come to a point where there is absolutely nothing else to do, if I exhaust all my options, then I will sell it. Someone else might come in and have some grand ideas for how to fix it up.
Yeah.
My shipping assistant, actually, she offered to buy it, to at least have the conversation to buy it, because she has young kids. She also is a jeweler herself, so might be a thing. But I still feel like I have some ideas, so I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's a really big decision. It's a lot to walk away.
Yeah, and I feel like through all of these changes that I'm making, I'm also learning and creating new systems. For example, it used to be a huge bottleneck where I was the only one designing all of my products myself. So I would never have any new designs. But I have a new system now, or at least a new relationship with one of my team members where she is helping me design new products. So there have been 8 new products that we have launched this year, which is unheard of. Prior to that, the last time was maybe 2 years ago when I made a pickle necklace, and that was it.
Oh yeah, I remember your pickle
so
necklace.
I'm not prolific at all with making new products, and now I have a person on my team who is trained to help me with research, to source supplies and design these new things under the design philosophy of Tiny Hands. So it's amazing. And she's
Yeah.
doing it all for me and creating all of the marketing. And I'm just kind of like orchestrating, although she is also doing a lot of heavy lifting with that. But I every time I think that like, oh, it's impossible to outsource this thing or that thing, I'm always surprised that someone else is doing it and they're doing a really good job at it too. And you can outsource the things that you thought you couldn't outsource, which is
Yeah.
to me very fascinating.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm interested to hear how it goes with your
Yeah.
like fulfillment. How would that work with how would that work with your like who would make it and how would it get fulfilled? How would that work? Would it go from not
So
really
I still have.
being yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. What was? Mm-hmm.
I was just like right now you have a team that makes them, right? Based on your designs.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
would they
All the
still make
charms. Yeah.
them and then a
They
company would ship
would.
them?
So I think the way it will work now is my production team makes all the charms. They ship it to me. And then here in Los Angeles, I'll probably need to hire one person to help, like ad hoc as needed, to assemble the charms into necklaces and then put them in their boxes, their packaging, ship them out to the fulfillment company, and that will be the new workflow.
Yeah.
And if it's me doing all of the assembly and the packaging for now, I don't mind that. That sounds actually kind of fun. I think if you're a maker, there's a certain amount of packaging and shipping out orders that's kind of fun. But where it gets a bit trying and tedious is when it's opportunity cost and like, hey, this is the time I could have been spending on making a YouTube video for a sponsor who's paying me $10,000, for example.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
I think there's a balance. I mean, I think that obviously that's something to keep in mind, but if you do that completely, then you really lose your passion. And I think that's kind of partly where I ended up burning out too, is I just was kind of like, I have to do all and only the things that make money. And if it doesn't have a good, ROI, I'm not doing it. And then I just was like, wow, I hate everything I'm doing now. This sucks. So having some things that maybe don't necessarily make the most sense, but are enjoyable and fun.
Yeah.
Got to keep some of those.
It is such a balance. I agree. And I think more often than not, I feel like I'm not in that balance, but it is so important to get yourself in that space more than not. Because I think you and me, Amy, we were raised to take care of stuff, right?
Yeah.
To make the money, to be responsible. And I think that's just us being millennials, right? We hustle.
Yeah.
We do work.
And now we're burnt out.
And now we're burnt out. Exactly.
Now we're like, wait a second. This is not, we were sold lies. This sucks. Somebody in the chat said, I was a 6-figure business until 2 years ago. I'm down over 50%. Now I have to do markets to keep the income coming in.
Oh.
I know. See, that's, and then somebody else said, that's great. You're able to adapt and pivot when you see that something different might work better. You have a good balance of being able to see it from multiple angles. I think you have to. That. And I think adapting is so important. I mean, especially when you're in business for as long as we have. Businesses just don't last if you don't adapt. And it's really not easy.
But like Amy and I have seen this in one of our meetings. We've talked about how a lot of other coaches or business owners, we have grown up when we were growing, when we've grown up together. So many of them have quit and stopped, closed shop.
So many. Right? I'm trying to think of any that are still like from our era, like 10 years ago. I'm sure there's still some. There's a handful.
Are still some. And then at the same time, in that same note, I have also seen a lot of businesses that get a lot of bad reviews, bad raps. Like people on Reddit have very poor user sentiment of said businesses. And yet these businesses still persist. And I'm like, wow, why does this
That's a great question.
Yeah,
How does that happen?
it's like two sides of the same coin. They're well-meaning, well-intentioned businesses that have good products that close shop, I think, because they cannot pivot, or not that they cannot, but they choose
I
to
think
not
they're
pivot anymore.
tired.
They're tired of pivoting.
Yeah.
They're tired, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, ooh, you found a lost book.
I found a lost book for the library. But I'm
in bed. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to swear on these streams? I don't, because if not, then I might as well leave. It's not going to happen. But anyway, yeah, I'm on my way back because it's getting super late.
I'm having trouble multitasking. I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I don't know how to problem solve my tiredness.
Yeah, we don't usually play and talk at the same time, but we'll get used to it.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll get used to it and it'll be okay. Ooh, flower. Mine. Yeah.
But M&E Creations, I just wanted to say in the comments, like, I don't think it's just you. So many people, I feel like a lot of businesses were born and had a lot of success during the pandemic. And then once that started to normalize and we got back to work, and the pandemic created a lot of competition, a lot of businesses, a lot of people went from jobs to being their own business owners. Mm-hmm. Now we are on the receiving end of that consequence. Mm-hmm. And now all businesses are just down because all of the money that people are spending are just distributed more evenly to everyone, and the average is lower. So you're not alone, and it's just hard. But
sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, I was done. I can be done.
I think that even when you see businesses that look like they're doing well, there's probably a lot going on that people don't see as well.
Totally.
You know, the business, I don't know how it's pronounced. It just closed and it was a big surprise. It was a clothing business. I don't know how it's pronounced. Leze, maybe? Leze? Anyway.
Oh, I have not heard of that.
Leze, but they just closed their business. And like on the outside, it looked like it was doing really well, but then kind of like in their era of closing up, they kind of, I don't want to say they confessed, but they shared a lot of their kind of like behind the scenes of how many struggles they were encountering. And, you know, like they were featured on Oprah's Favorite Things, and they talked about how it looked really cool from the outside, and they were like posting about how cool it was, and then behind the scenes was like all these things happening that made it so that they just kind of like had regrets. And they actually didn't do it again when they were asked again. They said no. And just, that was just one example of how they're kind of having it's just not, a lot of people who are having a hard time right now, or who look like they're not having a hard time right now, are probably still battling lots of challenges on the back end.
And and then some people are really good at hiding it, making you think that they're doing really well.
Absolutely. And that's not overly helpful. I don't think so, really.
No, I think it's good to talk about this kind of stuff. At least you don't feel so alone.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all like in the same boat, and it's, I think, you know, especially you and I, where we're kind of like in position of, I don't know if using the word leadership is the right word, but we're definitely like coaches, mentors, etc. It can be it can be nerve-wracking to say, oh yeah, my business is having a hard time.
Oh, it's so nerve-wracking.
But I also think that, I mean, it would be really naive of anyone to think that nobody's business struggles. You know, like it happens. It's more in how you deal with it. Like if you can be like, oh, I'm testing all of these different things, and these, you know, I'm trying new like Instagram strategies, or I'm trying new whatever, like trying a new webinar funnel or whatever it is that we're doing. And that just shows that we have kind of, I think maybe a level of resilience that makes people feel like it's okay if my business struggles. It's an opportunity to expand what I'm doing or change or pivot or whatever. And I hope that's what people take away from that conversation when people like us are like, oh yeah, things are hard. Like my business has not been the greatest over the last year and a half, I'd say, probably a little less than a year and a half. And it didn't, and there's all kinds of reasons, and I'm still teasing through those reasons, but I'm not closing my doors because I'm taking a break, and then I'm going to go back with fresh eyes, and it's going to be awesome.
That's great. I'm really excited. Do you want to talk more about that? Are you ready to share more about that now, or is that for...
I don't know if I will now, just because I genuinely am still figuring it out. I mean, I think I can definitely pinpoint like specific things that I think, well, this could have been better, or this is where I made a mistake. So one mistake I made that I really believe that was a big mistake, that I got advice saying that I should do this and I did it and it wasn't the best, is when I was kind of moving beyond product photography, like just teaching product photography, and moving into things like teaching Instagram and then kind of wider business strategy, I really was thinking about, should I start a new Instagram account or not? Should I start a new Instagram account, or should I just keep using this one because, you know, I built it. It was a ton of work, lots of work and money has gone into building this account. And everyone that I talked to, like people I was working with at the time, were like, just keep the account, you know, more accounts is just so much work to, you know, are you really going to be able to keep up with multiple accounts? Probably not. And these people are probably at least somewhat still your audience. But I think what happened was, in reflecting on that, I really, the account really lost its identity, and it made it so that Meta had just no idea who I was, which is, I mean, Meta didn't know who I was. Maybe I didn't know who I was too. Maybe my followers are like, what is she doing? She's all over the place. And I really think that was a mistake. I really muddied the waters on that account, and I don't think there's any really solid recovering it at this point. Not to say that it's a wash, it's not, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, and I'm saying I think because this is all still very much brainstorming in progress, but I'm thinking I'm going to pivot that account back to being mostly like pretty much product photography in general. And I'm going to start a new account for whatever the next chapter is, which I'm getting closer to figuring out. And really focus on it being like, that is like very, really, I don't want to say niching in, because it's going to be very kind of personal brand-ish, along with sharing kind of like a lot of what I've been learning about myself lately in midlife, perimenopause, tired, long-time entrepreneur, feeling a little lost in my business. And I think a lot of us end up in this place, and I am learning a lot about where that is, a lot of the science behind what happens to us in midlife, what happens to us at this point. A lot of the things that we deal with in terms of having lost a lot of our identity, especially if like you have kids, you've been really focused on your career, being a good partner, raising your children, maybe you're taking care of elderly parents, whatever, and you kind of just are like completely lose who you are at that point in life. And those are the people who really need, I think, at that point to rebuild their business. And especially if people have been grinding away, like whether they're service-based and they've been taking on clients, like really seeing people one-to-one, or, you know, shooting weddings, and that's their whole thing, is like just really time for money type stuff. Or if you're a product seller, you know, you have, the second you step back from your business, the money dries up. That's what we need to rebuild around, because that's not something that's long-term sustainable for a lot of people. Some people love it. Like some people will full on just do that forever and they love it and that's great. There's a lot of us that get to a point where we're like, this doesn't fit anymore. And instead of having to just like burn your business down and walk away, or like go back to a corporate job, or try to burn it down like on purpose so that they can start something brand new, you really don't need to do that, which is what I've figured out. Ooh, look at all those flowers you have. But that's what I'm kind of trying to figure out how I can serve that specific person, so that they can still have their business, but so that their business will better support a life that revolves around themselves, their passions, prioritizing their health, their mental health, their self-care, their all these things, and just being more creative and happy and fulfilled. So anyway, there was a long tangent, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking of taking it. So rather than just start talking about that stuff on my Instagram as it exists now, which will there'll probably be like a handful of people who will be like, this is great. But the rest of the people will be like, I came here for product photography help. What are you talking about? And I just, and not just beyond that, I think it really help Meta kind of categorize and be like, okay, this is her deal. This is how we're going to match her up to people who are interested in this side. So anyway, that was a mistake, I think, is diluting my messaging. I think people started to get confused about just what even am I offering anymore? What's my thing? And I also think I had a lead generation problem. You and I have talked about that quite a bit, May. Just because my main strategy for getting more leads was low ticket offers. So I would sell like $47 courses, whether it's product photography or real magic or whatever. And that worked really well, probably like 3 or 4 years ago. But Meta ads have gotten increasingly more expensive, also due to more competition and more people being in business, of course. And because ads have gotten a lot more expensive, that means I've had fewer sales for the same amount of money, and scaling isn't working the way that it used to. So the long and the short of it is I've had way fewer sales on those low ticket offers than I have in the past, which means my audience is not being refreshed with new, fresh people. And yeah, so time to switch up that strategy. I just really ran out of steam at the end for trying to figure out that. I still sell low ticket, and I think they're great, but I need to, that can't be the only avenue into my business for people. That can't be the only way I get discovered, because it's just not practical anymore. Worked great for a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello, people tuning in.
Amy, what do you do when you're tired in the game? Like if it's midday and you have snacks. Just
you can eat there. You can make granola bars. And
can I eat it?
I thought once that you could like go to bed but not sleep and it would recharge. Oh, it does a little bit.
I think that's what I did.
Yeah,
I see. That's what happened. I like sat in bed for a little bit.
Yeah, that seems to be working. But we can go to bed now anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, you can get food. You can like, that's the food mechanic of the game. You can like make all kinds of things. If you watch the TV, you learn recipes from Queen of the Sauce. I want to get a t-shirt that says Queen of the Sauce. Someone must make that. I'm going to look into it. I'm going on Etsy and I'm going to buy that shirt.
It's cute.
And I'm going to wear it on this stream. Go to sleep for the night, yes. So anyway, that's kind of my perspective.
So my question about that whole Instagram thing is because I feel like, so I've been doing a whole Instagram experiment for the last like year and a half. I've been studying about psychology and hooks and taking all the courses from all the low ticket sellers out there. Yeah. And I'm seeing some traction again, but my point is I'm delving much deeper into social media than I used to be now, because I'm trying to challenge myself to get better at it as a skill. And something that I'm learning is it's quite split. There is a camp of people who believe that even with your existing established profile on Instagram, you can make a pivot and talk about whatever you want, and the algorithm is smart enough to find your people for you with the right messaging and hooks and blah, blah, blah. On the other hand, the camp that I was and maybe still am in, I'm not sure, I have like feet in both camps, but there's another side of it where, like we are of the belief that the algorithm needs, it learns from whether or not your existing follower base is engaging with your content, right? And if they're not, it deems that content low quality and therefore will not show it to a wider audience.
Unless you're doing trial reels, I guess. That's the exception to that rule. But
so I'm torn on that because I have seen some success in just branching out and talking about whatever I want to talk about. And what I'm learning is you have to just, whatever it is you're talking about, you just have to make it relevant to your audience. So if your audience are product photographers, most of them are probably women, right, who would be interested in learning about perimenopause.
In theory.
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I still wonder if, like, is starting an entirely new channel. I mean, for sure, go for it if, like, spiritually that makes you more excited to start fresh.
It does, honestly.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. I don't necessarily think that that's something that a person has to do. I think for me, if I were to pivot I mean, I guess, what do you think? If I were to pivot, like, let's say I was going to keep going with his account. If I were to start talking about this stuff, but then still also talk about product photography sometimes, or still also talk about, like, content marketing sometimes, and so on. That, I feel like, I wonder if it gets a little bit,
so
challenging.
How would that be different from, say, all of the Gen Z creators that is flooding my algorithm or my newsfeed of these ladies who talk about, like, cinematography and how to, like, take really beautiful video for reels and, like, talking about the settings of your camera, etc., but at the same time they are also talking about, like, content creation and, like, business and motherhood. And so I feel like I've seen evidence of other accounts that are doing kind of like what you want to do, and they seem to be doing well.
But we've talked about this a little bit before. They might seem like they're doing well, but are they making sales?
Right. Well, yeah, when I say doing well, I mean, like, like Instagram, like, shares and saves, comments, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, usually these people don't have a good way of monetizing, which I feel like we came from an old school traditional way of business and marketing where we are good at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think for them, it's definitely hard personal branding. Like, people are just interested in everything they have to do. And I mean, maybe someone isn't interested in content creation, but then they watch these videos and they're like, maybe I'll get into content creation. Like, I think they're off, like, more influencers than anything, without even necessarily realizing that they're doing that. But yeah, I would really wonder how that translates to sales in the end, because you can like someone, but when it comes to handing over your money, you got to believe that person's going to, like, give you the results that you're after, or you're going to get what you pay for, and so on.
So to that point, though, I'm not trying to influence or sway you one way or the other. It's just we're just having a conversation. What is your goal if you were to start a new channel? And I get that spiritually it does feel more invigorating to start from scratch, but what would be your success metrics with this new profile? Like, what if in one scenario the engagement is still awful,
very valid,
but the sales, so if the sales is a big part of it, right? You don't have a business if you don't have sales.
Yep.
What if the sales were a problem of the lead magnet, or the low ticket model, and nothing to do with Instagram engagement? Or are they related? I'm just wondering. My question is, are we conflating two separate problems as one?
I think that they're connected. because at the same time that my sales slowed down, my engagement was also slowing down. So they happened at the same time. If you think about it, like if I was getting a lot of sales from Instagram. So if I used to get, if my, you know, we all experienced the big kind of like massive visibility drop off. Like, you know, if my reels used to get 20,000 views and now they get 2,000 views, that's like a significant drop in people seeing my content. That's like, and when I had a launch or something on, or when the doors were open to my membership, or if I was, you know, whatever, that's a huge loss in visibility for selling my stuff. So I do think that there's a connection there. I don't necessarily think that getting a lot of engagement on a new account is immediately going to translate to sales at all. But like in terms of what would the metric be for success on a new account?
Yeah, how will you know if you're doing well and you're on the right track with a new Instagram profile? Yep.
That's a great question, because I really don't want, oh God, now I'm going to talk to Willie the fisherman anyway.
Where are you?
I'm at the beach.
Oh, you're really far. I'm gonna come find you.
At the beach. I'm trying to get, I need to get enough wood so I can fix the bridge on the beach, because all the really good shells are on the other part. So anyway, what was I talking about?
Success metrics for Instagram, for your new Instagram.
Executive functioning challenges. You can see it. I think that I have to sit with that a little bit, because I don't really want to fall into it being a vanity thing. Like, oh, I really want to get a lot of likes and shares and all this stuff. I don't want to fall back into that. But part of the reason why I want to share on Instagram is not just sales. I genuinely feel very fulfilled when I put something out there and people feel something about it, when they're like, oh, this was really helpful, or this really resonated with me, or whatever. That is something I want more of, I think. I want people to feel seen and like they, you know, so I can.
And what does that look like? Is that a community? Is that comments?
I mean, comments for sure. Just that's how I know it's resonating. But also like shares, saves. That tells me that someone's planning on, like, it meant enough to them to save it. They're going to come back, or it meant enough to, you know, they thought of somebody and sent it to them or whatever. So those are pretty big signals that it connected. And I think that's something that I'm really keen to do. I have this drive to create things that people connect with and put them out into the world and have people feel like they, you know, somehow it made something better for them. I mean, that's ultimately what I would love. Which also makes me like, maybe I just want to be a content creator. Maybe I just to do that. But there's no money in content creation for Canadians.
I mean, I've told you how much money I make from content creation.
YouTube, you're right. YouTube is the exception. You're right. 100% YouTube will pay very well. And I think that, I mean, I suppose there's people on Instagram and stuff like that making really good money, but that doesn't extend to Canadian creators. So we don't get paid at all for posting on Instagram in Canada. It doesn't matter how good your views are.
Wait, why?
You are not welcome I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I think our government pissed them off once or something. Who knows? But I genuinely think that is part of it. So we're just not part of the like creator payment program. We get paid to post on Facebook because I think Facebook got so bad that they had to start paying people to post on Facebook. I've gotten that. So you're talking about like
the built-in pay, like monetization, but what about sponsors?
Sponsors are fine, I think. Yeah, you can definitely get sponsors. I'm just gonna write my Instagram handle in the chat here.
But I know that this is a question that you've percolating on as well, is maybe you do want to be a content creator. I don't know. You are really good at it.
I am when I'm in the zone. This is the other thing. I'm just, yes, thank you. I when I enjoy creating content, then it's pretty good. But I get burnt out. I mean, we all do, right? But um, so if I were to do it, it would be a matter of kind of figuring out how I could do it in a way that was genuinely sustainable for me to do long term.
Yeah.
Which is always, it's something we all, I think,
And
struggle with figuring out. But it's there. It's there for sure. Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with the content creation hamster wheel, is that for a lot of us, the way to make it sustainable is if every time you post, or not every time, but when you post, you see an uptick in sales and it's paying you. But most of us don't get that feedback loop, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
I guess the way to make it sustainable is to not use that as the success metric.
Yeah, I used to get sales from, like, I would post about one of my programs and people would buy it. I also used to send an
That's
email to my
incredible.
email list
Yeah.
and get like $1,000 in sales right away. Times have changed.
Yeah.
That's just not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I find myself questioning constantly, like, is it because consumer behavior has changed? Is it because there's more competition? Is it because people are feeling burnt out on courses, which is totally valid because every time you turn around, someone's trying to sell you something? Or is it that I'm just kind of missing the mark with my audience and they're not there for what I'm trying to offer anymore? Because I am trying to kind of do different things. Or, or is that just an excuse? Or the lead generation thing. Just like maybe everyone on my email list has already bought everything they want to buy, and I just need to get more people cycling through.
More people. Yeah. So I'll share with you what is making me sales with my businesses. So Tiny Hands, I mentioned how I have a person on my team, Shirley, who helps with marketing and also designing new products. And we are in our second launch now of a limited edition collection, and we just wrapped a few months ago releasing 4 new items. And every time that we've done this launch of 4 new items, so it's one new design, limited edition, every week for 4 weeks, we see a huge uptick in sales. And when we send out emails about those new products coming out, we also see a huge uptick in sales across the board because people now have more of a reason to come to our shop. Now, granted, these are our longtime customers, so these are not new people. These are people who have at least bought from us once before that are buying new things, buying new designs. But they are also buying other things in the shop and not just the new designs, which is interesting. But prior to that, when we don't have a new design and we are just highlighting older products, giving them a discount or a promo, doing like free shipping or whatever, those just don't do much at all. So, I mean, one conclusion I can make from that is that we have to give people a current good reason to buy, which I think will be consistent with what I was going to share with Creative Hive, because I'm still selling a sale a day courses, and I think because that offer is just so sturdy and the promise of it is so compelling, it continues to sell evergreen. Whether it's 2026 or 2016, it's selling well. Frank, 2016 it did not exist. I don't. It was in the works of being built. So I think it has to do with what kinds of offers we're putting out there. And I think to that, your point about consumer psychology changing, I think I do think there is something about how like people's desires and wants, where they want to spend money, has changed a bit. Coupled that with the increase in competition, and then like everything's just harder. But I don't think people are shopping less.
Yeah, and that's actually encouraging to hear because, yeah, That's definitely good to hear, I think, because
So yeah, if that was my guess, that's the new. It's just that, like we said in the beginning, the bar is just so much higher now of all the
yeah.
things that we have to get right in order. And not like I've started so many offers that I've retired because they were not good offers. They were
Yeah.
not sustainable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I
it's
think the
really
other
hard to come
thing,
up with a good offer.
I think the other
Go ahead.
reason why a sale a day does so well still is it has such a long-standing reputation. Like, it's been around for
That
so
too. Yeah.
long, and it, has tons of testimonials and tons of reviews, and it's definitely has a history.
But not to keep playing devil's advocate, but I mean,
You
I like to
love
do
playing
that
devil's
because
advocate.
I like just trying to like help us myself to practice seeing like all sides, all
Well, and it's
angles of the picture.
introducing
But
new thinking, which can be very helpful for moving forward.
thank you,
So it's
thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
Some people say I'm very like doing this on purpose. I promise I'm
No, it's
not.
good. That's how you're supposed. That's how you're supposed to coach. Is you're supposed to introduce, help people find new
Think
ways of thinking.
differently.
Keep it up.
So to your point about the long-standing offer, lots of testimonials. You remember what I said earlier about how there's so many bad business owners out there that still persist despite having like 1.5 stars on Trustpilot?
Oh yeah.
And like everyone on Reddit saying they are horrible and do not ever buy from them, and yet
I
they
know
still.
the people you're talking about.
And I'm like, how do you stay in business? But my point being that I think there's a lot of people that don't care about those things. I was shocked. I had a friend who has since passed away, but she was a crafter like us, and she would buy courses online without ever having done prior research on the course creator. And I'm like, wait, there are people like that exist? Because that's the first thing I would do is before I invest money in a coach or in a course, I will look up reviews. Because I don't want to get scammed, and I want to make sure it's going to be a good experience.
Yeah.
But I'm just shocked that there are a lot of people out there that don't care about that, and so that I think leads me back to box or square one, which is the offer has to be so damn good. But it's really hard to come up with a good offer. I know it is. There's so much that's
I mean, like, I'm not
offer.
mad about it, but like, because I think people deserve really good offers.
Yeah,
people shouldn't I've bought my fair share of shit things, like courses that I'm like, really, when I open it up. But I mean, people deserve good things, so I don't mind that the bar is higher and that we should be creating really good offers for people. I think where I start to get really tired, and even just thinking of it exhausts me to no end, is all of like like getting your sales copy exactly right so they just like are ready to buy, and having all your ad creative perfect and your blah blah blah. And I'm just kind of like, because you can do that to just ad nauseum and just keep hoping that you get people who come across your stuff and want to buy. But it's all those like little niggly bits that I at my current burnt out state feeling very exhausted over.
And I think the good news to that is I feel like if the offer's really good, all of that nitty-gritty stuff becomes so much easier. But also, on the flip side, I have also seen a lot of people who have put out programs and offers that are completely new in business, but because the offer is so compelling, they do really well. Wait, what am I trying to say? I feel like I was trying to refute myself, but I feel like I just never mind. Oh, sorry, I meant to say that I feel like there are a lot of people who are really good at creating the copy and the messaging around offers, but then the offers themselves don't deliver on the promise. I feel like there's been a lot of that happening in a lot of the courses that I've been buying from other people.
Yes. So you think people are feeling burned? And there's people who are hesitant to buy because of that as well?
I don't think so. I think there's I think people definitely are getting savvier.
I think they are too, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Right, right. Yeah, if you have well intentions and you make a good product, I think it will not be an issue. We have some questions
Yeah, we should get at
in the
these. We
chat.
got some great comments. Do you want to go through some?
Sure. So Crystal did give some feedback on the chat being too small. Thank you for that feedback. We
We can
will
fix that.
make sure that will be bigger next time. And then Amy, you did give Tiger Eyes your Instagram, right?
Yes.
Hi, thanks for being in my course. Starlit Rage. Just starting out, I'm worried about unnecessarily overspending on supplies for my craft before having made any sales. Any advice? That's something I always say to like. I know it's going to be more expensive to buy a smaller pack of beads, for example, as opposed to like the larger pack. You save more on the per piece, right? I would just be very intentional about not falling into the allure of buying more just because it seems cheaper per piece. Just buy what you need to make. Here's a good rule. Yes, buy just what you need to make a few prototypes of the design that supply is meant for. But you don't really need more than that until you get some validation that that product will sell. So that's one, I think, good way to keep yourself in check.
I love that. Good advice.
Thanks. You want to take the next one?
Yeah. So Christel said, I'm actually doing better than previous years, but I have to be honest that this is probably the first year I've truly put consistent effort into my business. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's consistency is like 80% of it, honestly. I mean, consistency on the right things, but yeah, that's you're well on your way. And yeah, that's great. Congrats. Huge.
Amy, where did you put your Instagram handle?
I put it in the chat, but I don't know if it went through to all the...
I didn't see it.
I see it on my channel, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it only goes through to my channel and not everyone's
Here, I
channel.
can put it in there.
Yeah, sure.
I'll put it in Restream.
We'll probably have to wrap up soon because it's 10 o'clock in my neck of the woods, which means it's almost this old lady's bedtime. My kids get up at 7 o'clock, which is pretty good. I'm okay. I'm not mad about it, but.
And then Crystal said, I don't trust reviews, but I won't buy into courses, etc., unless I can get a real taste of what it is, so I can really see if it's something I can apply. That's great. That's a great measure or indicator of how you shop for things. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good for us to keep in mind as well. I like to, include some free previews and stuff like that for people to see if they can, if it feels like a fit. Because I can tell you one thing, I never want people to be disappointed with what they spend money, their hard-earned money on with me.
Yeah, but you know what happens regardless of what we try to do, right?
Does. It certainly has. But thankfully not often. But yeah.
Good.
The more informed a person can be, the better. I think they're also more likely to buy if they feel confident that they know what they're getting and it's not like a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Was that all of them? Yeah, good.
Yeah. I cannot believe it's already been over an hour because I feel like we could just keep talking.
We absolutely could, easily. But I guess we should leave something for another time.
Yeah.
We'll always have things to talk about.
Yeah.
Such is the nature of business. Oh, thank you for your support, Tiger Eyes 86. I have really enjoyed this.
Me too.
Yeah, more of this. I think we'll have to. How often do we want to do this, May? Do you want to do it? How often do you want to do this?
I don't know. It goes back to that sustainability question, right?
Yeah.
I know starting September at the same time, I have an acting class at this hour for a month. So if we choose to do it more regularly, I will have to change the day and time for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, Yeah, we can. I'm sure we can do that. That's no problem.
Yeah.
I can also do anything, especially once the kids are back in school. During the day
Mm,
is like we want to do it earlier. I mean, it depends. I don't know what time works for most people, but if we wanted to capture like the UP Europe crowd, then earlier might be good,
right.
as well
Earlier.
as North America. Sorry,
Hmm.
Australians and New Zealanders.
Yeah, good point.
But
So we'll
yeah,
talk. I think we'll talk about that. How often? Maybe we go. You think about it. I think about it. How often we would like to do
yeah.
something like this?
But it's really fun, and I'd love to keep
Mhm.
doing this and grow it more and have people. Yeah, it's nice to chat with people. It's nice to have people here, and yeah, this has been really fun.
My question is how difficult has it been to multitask while getting into deep thoughts about business? Because it's been hard for me.
Hard. Can you tell? Because I've been like,
We're just like standing there while we monologue.
yeah, it's but thankfully we're playing Stardew Valley, the easiest game that
Easy for you, Amy, because like I can't. I'm trying to break down my own house.
I'm not gonna lie, I've played this game a lot. I have it on every single device that
That's amazing.
I own, I think. Shout out to Concerned Ape / Eric Barone, who created this amazing game all by himself and is now insanely rich.
Mm-hmm.
He's an inspiration. Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah,
should we wrap up then?
Yeah, I'm in bed. I don't know how the saving mechanism works. Should I just exit?
I just axed my wall, so I'm gonna go into bed and go to sleep for the night, and then it will. So when you go to sleep for the night, it saves it, and then you're fresh.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
I just left.
I
It's
earned
okay,
1,000 gold on my own. What's up? I am a tycoon.
I didn't even know there was money to be made in here. I'm so behind.
Oh man. You gotta yeah. We'll figure it out next time.
Okay.
You've got to forage for things, and anyway, just have a good time. We haven't even talked to a single person in the community yet. You can make friends. You can it'll be.
I couldn't get in the bus. It wouldn't let me.
You can't get in the bus yet. Yeah, no, you have to go like meet people in their homes or at the saloon or walking around or whatever. But
I see.
The bus is a later thing.
Okay, got it. All right, cool.
But yeah, Stardew Valley was fun. Talking about business was fun. Talking to all of you in the comments was really fun. Thanks everybody for being here. We will do this again.
It's fun.
And see if we can figure out a regular schedule where people can expect to see us. But this was a good trial, a good testing of the waters, I think.
Amazing. Thank you, everyone.
All right, we will.
Bye. Bye, Crystal.
Talk to you all again soon. Have a good night, everybody.